Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I did a video yesterday about Meghan Markle losing her Spotify job. She had the podcast, it was taken away from her because nobody's listening to it, because nobody cares what she thinks or what she says. And I said that they were just a pair of money-grubbing ignoramuses, Nobody really likes them, they've got no friends and all that. Just that sort of general sort of thing that I was saying about them. And I just thought nothing of. I moved on. I did the next video and everything. I got up this morning and I'm looking through the stories, and then this story appears. This is the day after, right? And it seems that my opinion of Harry and Meghan is echoed somewhat by the Spotify executive Bill Simmons, who is the one that acts their £20 million pounds or $20 million a year podcast. How are they going to maintain their lifestyle now, I wonder? Because they're unemployable, aren't they? But anyway, so this Bill Simmons has described what he thinks of Harry and Meghan. And he does it, I'm not going to say it's the words of Shakespeare, let's put it that way. But it is, I felt, deeply, deeply from the heart. It's wonderful to hear this being said out loud by someone like this. And I think it will suddenly hasten the end of any kind of sort of acceptance they have in their lives in America now. I think the tide has turned, and I think when people are coming out, people of this stature are coming out and saying this about them, I think the game is up. We've got to have a look at this. It is funny. Here goes. So, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are called effing grifters by Spotify executive Bill Simmons after their $20 million Archetypes podcast is axed. I said it wasn't the language of Shakespeare. Spotify and the Sussex's audio production company, Archwell Audio, on Thursday night said they have mutually agreed to part ways. This is their way of saying they fired us, but we wanted to make it sound as though it was our decision. They weren't. They were dragged in. They were told, cough. The announcement marks the end of their $20 million deal, signed 3 years ago, and they produced 13 episodes of Markle's podcast, Archetypes, because work is hard, and it's harder still when you're thick. The Wall Street Journal said they did not meet the productivity benchmark to receive the full $20 million payout, and she is said to be working on other projects. Yeah, she's got to try and keep inside the lines with all that colouring she's got to do. A top Spotify podcast executive has called Prince Harry and Meghan Markle effing grifters after they produced only one 13-episode series of a podcast for the company and then split. Because they are lazy, they are entitled, they are so up their own perfectly formed bottoms, aren't they? They sit there in monkey shit show where they live, and they think the world doesn't touch them and it owes them a living. It doesn't, and they've been caught out. And now, podcast cancelled, $20 million a year. Bang. Netflix not reviewing. The book sales not as big as they hoped. Now, they got plenty of cash. I know they're not going to run out if they lived a normal lifestyle, or even a very nice lifestyle. But when you're off and you're doing this and this and this, and it's first class travel everywhere and back, you'll burn through that. When you're going out to these things and, I'm going to wear this $100,000 dress, you're going to burn through that money like that. And you haven't got the ability to earn more. Neither of you have got any talent. Neither of you have got an education. You're both thick as shit. You deserve each other. And nobody likes you, which is why you're not getting invited to things anymore. It is absolutely the end of the Harry and Meghan show, and not before time. Anyway, Spotify and the Sussex's radio production company Archwell Audio released a joint statement saying they've mutually agreed to part ways and are proud of the series they made together. Yes, all 13 episodes for $20 million. Didn't get all that though, did you? Because you're supposed to do a lot more. Bill Simmons, head of podcast innovation and monetization at Spotify, condemned the pair in an episode of his own podcast on Friday. He said, and I quote, "The effing grifters, that's the podcast we should have launched with them. I've got to get drunk one night and tell the whole story of the Zoom I had with Harry to try and help him with a podcast idea. It's one of my best stories." It's because he couldn't come up with an idea himself. Harry, you got to remember, he's very bereft of brains. He is a bear of very little brains. He really is. Simmons, a sports writer, founded sports and pop culture website and podcast network The Ringer, and sold it to Spotify in 2020 for $200 million. You lucky man. He then joined Spotify, and as I've been long critical of the couple, well, welcome to my world. They are an embarrassment, aren't they? Just reading ahead for what it says there. But they're just awful, awful people. And the thing is, and here's the really weird thing, this isn't tangent time. Here's the thing, all the trouble that she caused, all that difficulty that she caused, all the trouble she made for the Queen in the last few days, or last few years of the Queen's life, she'd have kept her beak shut, did a little curtsy to Kate, they'd be sitting there now, and they would be right up that tree. Because when the Queen died, they'd have all moved up one. And eventually, you know, he'd have been, what? Second rank? Second tier? What is he now? He's not even. Nobody wants him. He doesn't get invited to things. They would have had a fantastic experience. But she couldn't keep her gob shut. And she didn't like curtsying to Kate because protocol. But she had to, and she hated it. She absolutely hated it. Anyway, last January, he blasted Prince Harry, saying it was embarrassing to be affiliated with the same company. Shoot this guy to the sun, he said, according to the sports website The Big Lead. I am so tired of this guy. What does he bring to the table? He just whines about shit and keeps giving interviews. Who gives a shit? Who cares about your life? This is what we all say. He goes, oh, I've got to tell my story. We don't want to hear your story, you whiny little turd. Keep your mouth shut, fuck off to America, and then just don't want to hear from you again. Go and live with the yacht girl wife. You know, I think you're number 38, or possibly 138, who's sailed in that particular boat. So, you know, enjoy what you got with your old lady. She's 50 now. And then just shut up and stop whining. Anyway, he says he wasn't even the favourite son. You live in effing monkey shit show, and you just sell documentaries and podcasts, and nobody cares what you have to say about anything, unless you talk about the royal family, and then you just complain about them. Spotify, and that's true, and it's all he can do. It's all he's got. All he's got is my family this, my family that. Well, you've told your story now. Fuck off. Don't care. You've got nothing else to add to this world. You are a parasite. You are nothing. You contribute nothing. You do nothing. Fine, do nothing, but do nothing quietly, and let us all get on with our lives without seeing your ginger mug and her ugly face plastered all over the place, moaning about how hard your life is in your $15 million home with your $100 million in the bank. Oh, it's terrible, terrible having to travel first class and sup champagne and eat fucking lobsters all day. Piss off, Harry. Anyway, the streaming giant announced it would be laying off around 200 staff members, around 2% of the workforce who work within the podcast teams. It cited difficulties in making podcasts profitable despite its popularity among listeners. Yeah, I mean, because it's not that kind of thing. And when you're paying people like the Sussexes $20 million, you're never going to make money, are you? I'd have given them $2, and that's like, you know, bus fare. Just so you can get out of my office quicker. Go on. Anyway, Markle's Spotify podcast, Archetypes, will not be renewed for a second season, and the entertainment world rejoices. The move to ditch the Duchess of Sussex's show, which explores labels that try to hold women back. Don't hold you back, do they, love? Follows discussions months ago about renewing it for a second series, but nobody was listening to it, nobody wanted it. Nobody. Insiders close to the audio giant claimed the royal couple did not meet the productivity benchmark required to receive the full payment. Markle, however, is still planning to create more podcasts. Oh, I do hope not. And to find a new home for a series. Oh, yeah, the bin. Straight in the bin. That's the best place for it, love. And while you're at it, yourself. I mean, to be honest, they've got, what, 18 months left, I reckon, and then they'll be done. She'll have the kids. She'll stay in America. He'll have to come home, tail between his legs. He'll probably never be allowed back into America again because of the problems. And that'll be the end of that then. And, you know, and then he'll go on, and then he can start a podcast moaning about how terrible his life is. Ah, bless. What a loser. I mean, you're in the royal family. You're one of the highest members of the royal family. You were loved, Harry, because of all the work you did. All the things with all those games and things like that. You were respected. Then you marry the yacht girl. and your life's got to shit, and nobody likes you, and you've lost all the respect. And if you do come back home to Britain without your kids and without your ex-paid woman, your painted trollop, what are you going to do? You won't be accepted back. Nobody will want to know. You just sit in a little flat, you know, in Green Park, something like that, near to the office, you know, and then keep your mouth shut for the rest of your sad, miserable life, you loser. Anyway, on that happy note, I am going to come up and we'll round off this video. So it does seem the gloss is coming off the magic couple. They went to America and they're the bright young things. Oh, look at us, I'm a duchess, he's a duke, and we're going to live in America and be marvellous and wonderful. I might run for office. Not anymore. It's all done. And when you get seriously big, you know, big names in the entertainment industry mocking you, ridiculing you, insulting you, and calling you out for what you are, grubby little greedy people, only interested in money because that's all you have in your sad, empty lives, then you know your days are numbered. But I think the wedding is over. I think the honeymoon's over. I think they live apart more or less. He's always at his other apartment in the hotel. You know, she's at home working out, you know, how to find the next billionaire who wants to, you know, pay her lots of money for doing that. Though nobody wants her. And then this guy calls them out for what they are, grifters. Isn't it just beautiful to watch? Now, it won't be long. We will watch this. We watch this story unfold because it will be, you know, it'll be quick. I think it's going to be I think it'll be a tumble. I think it's a roller coaster, and I think it is going to all come apart very, very quickly when it unravels. And so, yeah, it'll go. She'll be in a very bad place mentally, and that's how it should be, because she's going to have to reap the rewards for the things she said and the things she's done. And of course, she's destroyed his life, but he'll never recover from this. That's fine. He made his bed. And apparently, people were telling him beforehand, "Don't, whatever you do, don't marry her, don't marry her." Everyone was saying, "Don't marry her." What do you do? We all make mistakes, but Harry, that's a doozy. Anyway, I shall round off there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, keep watching this show of a wedding. It is fantastic, isn't it? This marriage is going to crash and burn, and we will be here to watch it. Bye.